Hello everyone and welcome back. Before we start our series on Banjo and Kazooie nuts and bolts, I wanted to wrap up Banjo-Tooie with my interpretation of what I believe the layout of the Isle of Hags is. So I've got a picture that I took when I fell from Cloud Cuckoo Land, and I got it open in Microsoft Paint. And this is my best guess. I've seen a few interpretations online and they vary wildly, but this is my best guess at the layout of the Isle of Hags. And I am a firm believer that Spiral Mountain is not one of the places in the Isle of Hags. I think it's in a totally different game world. But we will begin by pointing out the obvious, and that is the first area. Of course, we see Hellfire Peaks right here because we've got the fire side and we've got the icy side. And these would be the game areas down in here respectively, and then the bosses would be up here. And of course, if those are Hellfire Peaks, then this little area right here would be the little stone structure that leads to Hellfire Peaks that has the bridge that extends from the cliff top. So that would make this area right here the cliff top. And, the cliff top train station would be in here somewhere on the other side of the cliff. And if that was true, if you went the other way, you would be led to believe that this would be Jolly Roger's Lagoon right in this area right here, back behind the cliff area. So we can't see any water or anything behind here, but just from the position of this island right here, you would assume that Jolly Roger's Lagoon would be over here. Okay, so that kind of takes care of that side of the island. Another area that's pretty obvious is right in the center of the island at the top of the mountain. And this area right here would be Cauldron Keep. And I say that because we climbed up there and there's a moat around Cauldron Keep that's pink. And of course this area is pink right here, so you would guess it would be in the highest point in the mountain where the gun was Bob that would shoot down and hit all areas of Isle of Hags. Okay, so let's start with where we enter the game. And I am going to say that this area right down here is Jinjo Village. And the reason I say that is because it is shaped like Jinjo Village. If you walk through Jinjo Village, this would be the digger tunnel right here that came in from Spiral Mountain. King Jingling's house would be right about here, and the sandy area would be over here, and the entrance to Wooded Hollow would be up around this way, which leads us to the next area, Wooded Hollow. And you can even see this structure right here even looks like a Jiggy. So this would be the building in Wooded Hollow, the temple for Jiggy Wiggy, because it does look like a jigsaw piece. From the air you can see the shape of it if you stand in front of it and look up. Okay, and just from proximity and what it looks like, this would be one of the structures in Mayhem Temple, which is right next to the Jigsaw building in Wooded Hollow. Okay, here's where you have to use your imagination a little bit. The entrance to Mayhem Temple would be over here, but then that would lead you to believe that the next entrance we went to was the plateau. And the plateau is definitely against a cliffside because you can see it, you can fall while you're getting up there. You go on a little bridge, so this area right in here would be the plateau. And that would have Glitter Gulch Mine and Honeybees, Honey Hive, whatever, Beehive. And you would then open the digger tunnel that leads to Witchy World, and also Pine Grove. And I would guess that this is Pine Grove right here, this little square area. And this area right here, you can see it almost even looks like a W. Right there would be Witchy World, right in here. So are you following me so far? Okay. Now, if you were in Pine Grove, and you would assume that this little area right here might be the lake that you go through to the other digger tunnel that would lead out to the wasteland. So let's assume right now that this area is the wasteland right here. And I would say that this area right here would be the Bubble to Cloud Cuckoo Land. This would be the entrance right here to Pterodactyl Land, and this is Pterodactyl Land right here. And you can see it is because Terry's Nest sits right in the middle. And then there's cliffs all around Pterodactyl Land in a circle. And then the playing area is the middle area right here where you actually play the game. Okay. And the other exit out of Pterodactyl Land would be the digger tunnel that leads to the quagmire. So you would use the springy step shoes and jump right here. And this makes sense too because it actually leads to the quagmire, which is right over here. And the quagmire is also very close to Cauldron Keep, which is right over here. Okay, and of course if this area is the quagmire, then this area right over here would be Grunty Industries. And you can see in Grunty Industries the train tracks actually come in from over here. And there's a bridge that actually brings the train tracks above the quagmire into Grunty Industries. And I believe that is all the areas in the Isle of Hags. So let me know if anybody disagrees. And like I've said, I've seen a bunch of maps with a bunch of different interpretations, but that is the best I can come up with just by what I've seen in the game and where I think all these tunnels lead to. So thank you for tuning in, and I will be starting Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts here in the next couple of days. I already have episode 1 recorded, I just need to add sound to it. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.